Micah 6:8. He hath shewed thee, O man, what is good, and what doth the Lord require of thee, but to do justly, and to love mercy, and to walk humbly with thy God.
And the Lord said to Moses, saying, Sanctify to me every firstborn, firstborn of its kind, opening wide every womb among the sons of Israel, from man unto beast, it is mine. Moses said to the people, Remember this day in which you came forth from out of Egypt, from out of the house of slavery. For with a fortified hand the Lord led you from here, and you shall not eat yeast. For today you go forth in the new month. And it will be, whenever the Lord your God should bring you into the land of the Canaanites, and the Hivites, and the Amorites, and the Hivites, and the Jebusites, and the Gershishites, and the Perizzites, which he swore by an oath to your fathers to give to you, the land flowing milk and honey. Then you shall do this service in this month. 6 days you shall eat unleavened breads, with the seventh day as a holiday of the Lord. Unleavened bread shall you eat 7 days. There shall not be seen in you leavened bread, nor shall there be to you yeast in all your boundaries. You shall announce to your son in that day, saying, Concerning this the Lord God did to me as I went forth from out of Egypt. And it will be to you for a sign upon your hand, and a memorial before your eyes, so that the law of the Lord may be in your mouth. For with a fortified hand the Lord led you out of Egypt. You shall guard this law according to the times of hours, from days to days. And it shall be, whenever the Lord your God should bring you into the land of the Canaanites, in which manner he swore by an oath to your fathers, and shall give it to you, that you shall separate every offspring opening the womb, the males to the Lord, and every offspring opening the womb from the herds among your cattle. As many as come to pass to you, the males are to the Lord. Every newborn opening the womb of donkey you shall barter for sheep, but if you should not barter, you shall ransom it. Every firstborn of man of your sons you shall ransom. And if your son should ask you about these sayings, What is this? You shall say to him, With a fortified hand the Lord led you out of the land of Egypt, from out of the hand of slavery. When he hardened Pharaoh to send us, the Lord slew all the firstborns in the land of Egypt, from the firstborn of men unto the firstborn of cattle. On account of this I sacrifice to the Lord every offspring opening the womb, the males to the Lord, and every firstborn of my sons I will ransom. And it shall be for a sign upon your hand, and unshaken before your eyes. For by a fortified hand the Lord led you out of Egypt, and as Pharaoh sent out the people, God did not guide them in the way of the land of the Philistines, for it was near. For God said, lest at any time the people should repent seeing war, and they should return into Egypt. God encircled the people in the way, the one into the wilderness, to the Red Sea. And in the 5th generation the sons of Israel ascended from out of the land of Egypt. Moses took the bones of Joseph with him, for with an oath Joseph bound the sons of Israel, saying, With the visit the Lord will visit you, and you shall join in carrying off my bones from here with you. And the sons of Israel lifted away from out of Succoth, and they encamped in Etham by the wilderness. But God led them by day by a column of cloud to show to them the way, but in the night by a column of fire. The column of cloud did not fail by day, and the column of fire by night before all the people. The Lord spoke to Moses, saying, Speak to the sons of Israel, and turning, let them encamp before the property between Migdol and between the seas, right opposite Baal-zephon. Before them you shall encamp by the sea. And Pharaoh will say concerning the sons of Israel, These wander in the land, for the wilderness hath closed them up. But I will harden the heart of Pharaoh, and he will pursue after them. And I will be glorified by Pharaoh, and by all his military. And all the Egyptians shall know that I am the Lord. And they did thus. It was announced to the king of the Egyptians that the people have fled. And the heart of Pharaoh was converted, and the hearts of his attendants against the people. And they said, What is this we have done to send out the sons of Israel to not enslave to us? Pharaoh then teamed up his chariots, and he led all his people with himself. He took 600 chosen chariots, and all the cavalry of the Egyptians, and tribunes over all. The Lord hardened the heart of Pharaoh, king of Egypt, and he pursued after the sons of Israel. But the sons of Israel went with a high hand. The Egyptians pursued after them, and they found them camping by the sea. And all the cavalry and the chariots of Pharaoh, and the horsemen, and his military, were before the property right opposite Baal-zephon. Pharaoh led forward, and the sons of Israel looked up with the eyes, and behold, the Egyptians were encamped behind them. They feared exceedingly, and the sons of Israel yelled out to the Lord. They said to Moses, Because there were no tombs existing in Egypt, you led us to be put to death in the wilderness. What is this you did to us, bringing us forth from out of Egypt? Was this not the saying which we spoke in Egypt to you, saying, Disregard us, so that we may slave to the Egyptians? for it is better for us to slave to the Egyptians than to die in this wilderness." Moses said to the people, "Be of courage, stand and see the deliverance by the Lord which he will do for us today. For in which manner you see the Egyptians today, you will not proceed to see them into the eons of time. The Lord will wage for us, and you shall be quiet." The Lord said to Moses, "Why do you yell to me? Speak to the sons of Israel and break camp. You, lift up your rod and stretch out your hand upon the sea. Tear it, and let the sons of Israel enter in the midst of the sea on dry land. Behold, I will harden the heart of Pharaoh and all the Egyptians. They will enter in after them, and I will be glorified by Pharaoh, by all his military, and by the chariots, and by his horses. All the Egyptians shall know that I am the Lord, glorifying myself by Pharaoh, and by the chariots, and by his horses." And the angel of God lifted away the one going before the camp of the sons of Israel, and he went at the rear. Lifted away also the column of cloud from their sight. It stood at the rear of them. It entered between the camp of the Egyptians and between the camp of Israel, and it stood. And there was darkness and dimness, and the night went by, and they did not mix together one to another the entire night. Moses stretched out his hand upon the sea, and the Lord drew away the sea by a violent south wind the entire night. He made the sea dry, and cut asunder the water. The sons of Israel entered in the midst of the sea down on the dry land, and its water was a wall from the right and a wall from the left. The Egyptians pursued, and all the cavalry of Pharaoh entered after them, the chariots and the riders in the midst of the sea. And it came to pass in the watch, in the early morning, the Lord gave attention unto the camp of the Egyptians with a column of fire and a cloud, and he disturbed the camp of the Egyptians. He bound the axles of their chariots and led them with force. And the Egyptians said, "We should flee from the face of Israel, for the Lord wages war for them against the Egyptians." The Lord said to Moses, "Stretch out your hand upon the sea, restore the water, cover over the Egyptians, over both the chariots and over the riders." And Moses stretched out his hand upon the sea, and the water restored at day to its place, and the Egyptians fled from under the water. The Lord shook off the Egyptians in the midst of the sea, and turning back, the water covered the chariots and the riders, and all the force of Pharaoh, of the ones entering after them into the sea, and there was not left of them not even one. The sons of Israel went through dry land in the midst of the sea, and the water was to them a wall on the right and a wall on the left. The Lord rescued Israel in that day from the hand of the Egyptians, and Israel saw the Egyptians having died by the edge of the sea. And Israel saw the great hand by which the Lord executed against the Egyptians, and the people feared the Lord, because they trusted in God and Moses his attendant. They sang, Moses and the sons of Israel, and this ode to the Lord. And they said, "We should sing to the Lord, for gloriously he is glorified. Horses and riders he tossed into the sea. Helpers and shelterer he became to me for deliverance. This is my God, and I will glorify him. The God of my father, I will exalt him. The Lord breaking my wars, the Lord is his name. The chariots of Pharaoh and his force he tossed into the sea. Chosen riders and tribunes he sank in the Red Sea. A high sea covered them, and they descended upon the bottom of the sea as stone. Your right hand, O Lord, has been glorified in strength. Your right hand, O Lord, devastated the enemies. In the magnitude of your glory you broke the opponents. You sent your anger, and it devoured them as stubble. By the breath of your rage the water was parted, as a banked-up wall where the waters and the waves were banked up in the midst of the sea. The enemy said, "In pursuing I shall overtake. I shall portion the spoils. I shall fill up my soul, and I will take up my sword. My hand will dominate." You sent your breath. The sea covered them. They went down as lead in vehement waters. Who is likened to you among gods, O Lord? Who is likened to you, being glorified among holy ones, wonderful in glories, doing miracles? You stretched out your right hand, and the earth swallowed them. You guided by your righteousness. This your people whom you ransomed, you aided in your strength, in your holy lodging. Nations heard, and were provoked to anger. Pangs took hold of the ones dwelling among the Philistines. Then hastened the princes of Edom, and the rulers of the Moabites. Trembling took hold of them. They melted away all ones dwelling in Canaan. May there fall upon them fear and trembling. By the greatness of your arm they are petrified, until whenever your people may go by, O Lord, until whenever this your people may go by, whom you acquired. Bringing them in, plant them in your mountain of inheritance, into your prepared home which you manufactured. O Lord, the sanctuary, O Lord, which you prepared by your hands.
the Lord reigning into the aeon, and unto aeon, and still. For the horse of Pharaoh entered with chariots and riders into the sea, and the Lord brought upon them the waters of the sea. But the sons of Israel went through dry land into the midst of the sea. Miriam the prophetess, the sister of Aaron, took the tambourine in her hand, and came forth all the women after her with tambourines and dancers. Miriam led them, saying, We should sing to the Lord, for gloriously he glorified himself. Horse and rider he tossed into the sea. And Moses lifted up the sons of Israel from the Red Sea. He led them into the wilderness of Shur, and they went 3 days into the wilderness, and they did not find water so as to drink. They came unto Marah, and they were not able to drink water at Marah, for it was bitter on account of this, and the name of that place was named Bitter. The people complained unto Moses, saying, What shall we drink? Moses yelled to the Lord, and the Lord showed to him a tree. He put it into the water, and the water was sweetened. There he established with them ordinances and judgments, and there he tested him. He said, If you should hear the voice of the Lord your God, and you should do the things pleasing before him, and you should give ear to his commandments, and you should guard all of his ordinances, then every disease which was brought upon the Egyptians I will not bring upon you, for I am the Lord healing you. And they came to Elim, and there were 12 springs of water, and 70 trunks of palm trees, and they camped there by the water. They departed from Elim, and all the congregation of the sons of Israel came unto the wilderness of Sin, which is between Elim and between Sinai. On the 15th day in the 2nd month they went forth from the land of Egypt. All the gathering of the sons of Israel complained to Moses and Aaron. And the sons of Israel said to them, Ought we died, being struck by the Lord in the land of Egypt, whenever we sat at the kettles of the meats and ate bread loaves in fullness? For you led us into this wilderness to kill all this congregation by hunger. The Lord said to Moses, Behold, I rain upon you bread loaves from out of the heavens, and the people shall come forth. They shall collect together the bread day to day, that I should test them if they should go by my law or not. And it will be in the 6th day they shall prepare whatever they should carry in, and it shall be double whatever they should bring according to day by day. Moses and Aaron said to all the gathering of the sons of Israel, At evening you will know that the Lord led you out of the land of Egypt, and in the morning you will see the glory of the Lord, in the hearing of your grumbling against God. And we, what are we that you complain against us? Moses said, It is in the Lord giving to you in the evening meats to eat, and bread loaves in the morning by fullness, on account of the Lord hearing your grumbling, which you complain against us. But we, what are we? For not is your grumbling against us, but against God. Moses said to Aaron, Say to all the congregation of the sons of Israel, Come forward before God, for he has heard your grumbling. And when Aaron spoke to all the congregation of the sons of Israel, that they turned into the wilderness, the glory of the Lord appeared in a cloud. And the Lord spoke to Moses, saying, I have heard the grumbling of the sons of Israel. Speak to them, and saying, Towards evening you shall eat meats, and in the morning you shall be filled with bread loaves. You shall know that I am the Lord your God. And it was evening, and there ascended the mother quail, and it covered the camp. In the morning there was a resting of the dew about the camp. Behold, upon the face of the wilderness a thin thing as coriander, white as ice upon the earth. And seeing it, the sons of Israel said other to the other, What is this? For they have not known what it was. Moses said to them, This is the bread which the Lord gave to you to eat. This is the thing which the Lord ordered. Bring together of it each for what is fitting, a homer per head, according to the number of your souls. Let each with your tents collect together. And the sons of Israel did so, and they collected together what was much and what was less. And measuring with the homer, the one which had much was not superabundant, and the one which had less had not too less, for each collected together what was fitting for himself. Moses said to them, Let no one leave behind of his into the morning. And they did not hearken to Moses, but left behind some of it into the morning. And worms erupted, and it stunk, and Moses was embittered over them. They collected it together morning by morning, each the fitting thing for himself. And when the sun warmed through, it melted away. It happened in the 6th day they collected together the necessary double amount, 2 homers to the one person. And all the rulers of the congregation entered, and announced to Moses. And Moses said to them, This word is what the Lord spoke, a Sabbath rest, holy to the Lord is tomorrow. Whatever as much as you should bake, bake. Whatever as much as you should boil, boil. All that being superabundant, leave it for reposite for the morning. They left it of it in the morning, as Moses ordered, and it did not stink, nor was there a worm in it. And Moses said, You eat it today, for it is a Sabbath to the Lord. Today you shall not find any in a plain. 6 days you shall collect together, but the seventh day is a Sabbath, for it shall not be found in it. And it came to pass on the seventh day came forth certain ones from the people to collect together, and they did not find. And the Lord said to Moses, For how long will you not listen to my commandments and my law? See, for the Lord gave to you the Sabbath day. On account of this he gave to you on the sixth day bread loaves for 2 days. Let each sit down in your houses by himself. Not one of you go forth from out of this place during the seventh day. The people observed the Sabbath on the seventh day. And the sons of Israel named it, the name of it manna, and it was as the seed of coriander, white, and the taste of it was as pastry with honey. Moses said, This is the thing which the Lord ordered. Fill the homer of the manna for reposite, for your generations, that they might see the bread which you ate in the wilderness, as the Lord led you out of the land of Egypt. Moses said to Aaron, Take one golden jar, and put in it a full homer of manna, and put it aside before God for preservation into your generations, in which manner the Lord ordered Moses. Even Aaron put it aside before the testimony for preservation. And the sons of Israel ate the manna 40 years, until they came into the land to be lived in. They ate the manna until they came into a part of Phoenicia. Now the homer was the 10th of 3 measures. And all the congregation of the sons of Israel departed from out of the wilderness of Sin, according to their camps through the saying of the Lord. And they camped in Rephidim, but there was no water for the people to drink. The people reviled against Moses, saying, Give to us water, that we may drink. And Moses said to them, Why do you revile me? Why do you test the Lord? The people thirsted there for water, and the people complained against Moses, saying, Why is this that you hauled us from out of Egypt to kill us, and our children, and the cattle by thirst? Moses yelled to the Lord, saying, What should I do with this people? Yet in a little while they will cast stones at me. The Lord said to Moses, Go before this people. Take with yourself some of the elders of the people, and the rod in which you struck the river. Take it in your hand and go. Behold, I stand there before your coming upon the rock in Horeb. You shall strike the rock, and shall come forth from out of it water. The people shall drink. And Moses did thus before the sons of Israel. He named the name of that place Test and Reviling, on account of the reviling of the sons of Israel, and on account of the testing. The Lord says, Is the Lord with us or not? Amalek came and waged war against Israel in Rephidim. Moses said to Joshua, Choose for yourself mighty men. Going forth, deploy against Amalek tomorrow. And behold, I shall stand upon the top of the hill, and the rod of God in my hand. Joshua did as Moses told to him. Going forth, he deployed against Amalek. Moses and Aaron and Hur ascended upon the top of the hill. And it happened, whenever Moses lifted up the hands, Israel grew strong. But whenever he lowered his hands, Amalek grew strong. The hands of Moses became heavy, and taking a stone they placed it under him, and he sat down upon it. And Moses and Aaron and Hur supported his hands, here one and there one, and the hands of Moses were supported until the descent of the sun. And Joshua routed Amalek and all his people by carnage of the sword. The Lord said to Moses, Write this for a memorial in a scroll, and put it unto the ears of Joshua. For his ointment I will wipe away the memorial of Amalek from unto heaven. And Moses built an altar to the Lord, and named the name of it, The Lord my refuge. For it was with a hidden hand the Lord wages war against Amalek, from the generations unto generations.
Let the heart of a man consider just things, that the footsteps should set right by God, that the works of the humble are apparent by God. But the impious shall be destroyed in an evil day. Every proud heart is unclean with God, and a man putting a hand against hands unjustly shall not be acquitted. The beginning of a good way is the just things. It is more acceptable by God rather than sacrifices. One seeking the Lord shall find knowledge with righteousness, and the ones rightly seeking him shall find peace. All the works of the Lord are with righteousness, and the impious is kept for the evil day. An oracle is upon the lips of a king, but in judgment in no way should his mouth be misled. The crooks of the yoke balance scale is righteousness with God, and his works are just weights. The ones doing evils is an abomination to the king, for with the righteousness the throne of sovereignty is prepared. Just lips are acceptable to the king, and the Lord loves straight words. The rage of a king is a messenger of death, but a wise man will appease him.
The son of a king is in the light of life, and the ones acceptable to him are as a cloud of late rain. Nests of wisdom are more preferred than gold, and nests of intelligence more preferred than silver. The paths of life turn aside from evils, and the ways of righteousness are length of existence. The one receiving instruction will be among good things, and the one keeping reproofs shall be made wise. The one who guards his own ways gives heed to his own soul, and the one loving his life shall spare the mouth. Insolence takes the lead before destruction, and before calamitous downfall evil thinking. Better a gentle-minded one with the low estate than one who divides spoils with the arrogant. The one discerning in matters is an inventor of good things, and the one yielding upon God, is most blessed. Men call the wise and discerning vile, but the one sweet in words shall be heard much. For the spring of life is insight to the one's acquiring, but the instruction of fools is evil. The heart of the wise shall comprehend the things from his own mouth, and upon lips he shall wear knowledge. Good words are honeycombs of honey, and the sweetness of them is healing for the soul. There are ways that seem to be straight to a man, however the finalities of them look into the lower branch of Hades. A man in toil toils for himself, and expels destruction from him. However the crooked man wears destruction upon his own mouth. A foolish man digs evils for himself, and upon his own lips treasures up fire. A crooked man spreads evils, and by the torch of treachery lights a fire for evil, and he parts friends. A man who is a lawbreaker puts his friends to test, and takes them ways not good. Fixed firmly his eyes, he devises perverted things, and he confirms with his lips all the evils. This man is a furnace of evil. The crown of boasting is old age, and it is found in the ways of righteousness. Better a lenient man than a strong man, and a man of intelligence than one having a great farm. The one holding his anger is better than one overtaking a city. Into enfolded arms comes all things to the unjust, but all just things are from the Lord.
But what things were gained to me, those I counted loss for Christ. Yet doubtless, and I count all things but loss for the excellency of the knowledge of Christ Jesus my Lord, for whom I have suffered the loss of all things, and do count them but dung, that I may win Christ, and be found in him, not having my own righteousness, which is of the law, but that which is through the faith of Christ, the righteousness which is of the God by faith. Philippians 3:7-9. One of the most important and respected management experts of the last century was Peter Drucker. His 39 books were translated into dozens of languages and sold millions of copies. He identified 3 things that are required for a successful mission, whether personal or corporate. Look at strength and performance. To do better, what you do well, if it's the right thing to do. Look at the opportunities and the needs where you can, with limited resources, and really make a difference. Look at what you really believe and commit to it fully. Drucker wrote, I've never seen anything being done well unless people were committed. The goal that God has declared for each believer is for us to be like Jesus, for whom he did foreknow, he also did predestinate to be conformed to the image of his Son. This is a cause that is worthy of our complete dedication and commitment. It is not a passing goal that we may later set aside, but the goal that should dominate our thinking and efforts every day of our lives. The goal of being like Jesus requires priority. That must be more important than any of the things of this world. Our value system must be settled on the eternal things, rather than the temporal pleasures and successes we are offered. When we face troubles and trials, our commitment to Jesus will be tested. But if we remain faithful, we will know and serve and love him better and truly be more like him. Nothing will give up to follow Jesus is worth what we will receive from him for faithful services.
I rode with me. Many voices clamor for your attention, trying to divert you to another path. But I have called you to walk ever so closely with me, soaking in my presence, living in my peace. This is my unique design for you, planned before the world began. I have called each of my children to a different path, distinctly designed for that one. Do not let anyone convince you that his path is the only right way. Be careful not to extol your path as superior to another's way. But I require of you is to act justly, to love mercy, and to walk humbly with me wherever I lead. Ephesians 2:10. For we are God's workmanship, created in Christ Jesus to do good works, which God prepared in advance for us to do. Micah 6:8. He has showed you, O man, what is good. What does the Lord require of you? To act justly, and to love mercy, and to walk humbly with your God.